Hi, this is Hsiao Wen Hsu from Lingdong University. The topic for my presentation today is investigating the acceptance of ASR-based computer-assisted pronunciation training among freshman EFL learners. The content for my presentation include research background, research design, results, and suggestions and recommendations. First of all, I would like to show you the research background of this study. The development of IT changes the landscape of language education. Learners now can easily access any target language input. However, effective implementation requires a better understanding of learners' attitudes towards computer-assisted language learning. So there is a need for more empirical research regarding investigation between learners' engagement with core and individual factors which affect users' acceptance and adoption of technology innovations. So there's a research gap here. EFL instructors and choose designers need to fully understand EFL learners' perceptions and attitudes towards the system. However, there's limited research examining the relationship between learners' use of information technology adaptation and their attitudes towards future computer use. And there's few studies in this area of automatic speech recognition technology in pronunciation training. So the role of pronunciation, it is the foundation of language acquisition. So it can enhance oral communication skills and the speech fluency. However, pronunciation has been overlooked in foreign language research and teaching. Learners perceive the difficulties due to limited knowledge of pronunciation. Pronunciation training requires immediate and personalized instruction, and it needs to identify the gap between learners' performances and the desirable ones. So it requires a lot of efforts and the time to help students to carry out pronunciation training. The importance of using systematic and constant practices of acquired skills in class has been highly recommended. So this pronunciation training indicates that technology changes the language education in feasibility and availability. And language learners benefit from accessing to authentic pronunciation models facilitated by computer-assisted pronunciation training. So the combination of the computer technologies obtained the recognition for its vital role as educational and instructional aids, and to extend the influence in EFL learning. So this ASR-based CAPT training make up for the insufficiency of traditional pronunciation teaching, because traditionally you need face-to-face interaction, which may be limited due to contextual limitations, and teachers need to offer speakers quality evaluation and timely corrective feedback. But through technology, it can offer immediate diagnosis of pronunciation problems and immediate correction. And learners practice pronunciation independently whenever possible, which also helps reduce anxiety and pressure. And in this study, I used technology acceptance model to measure the cognitive and the psychological factors checking users' intentions regarding further use of new technologies. And this is the most popular and tested model, which is a stable model providing an appropriate theoretical framework for educational research. And it makes successful predictions to offer explanations for users' acceptance of target technology. So this is the technology acceptance model, which adapted from Davis 1989. This perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use as the fundamental factors in this model. And the crucial factor affecting the success of the system is the attitude towards use the system. And PU enhancing learning performance. And PEU and PU concerning about the behavioral intention to use. So this model is used to observe language learners' behavioral intention. According to the literatures, previous studies in 2009, Ma and examined Malay students' acceptance of writing weblogs in the ESL classroom and found that there to be positive and significant relationships between PEU and the behavior intention. And PEU significantly affect users' attitudes towards weblog writing and their intention to use it more than PEU did. And in 2020, Lin discovered that both PEU and PEU significantly affected EFL learners' intentions to use it. In connection with mobile-assisted language learning, the complexity together with the usefulness of the core system may also affect the learning process. And also recently in 2016, Hsu replaced the behavior intention with continuing use, which is CU, to examine learners' intention to actually use the system. And found that PU had a significant effect on PU. And the PU significantly affected learners' attitudes towards ASR-based CAPT, leading to their continuing use of the system. And in 2007, another research by Hsu also discovered PU significantly affected the user's attitude towards core, while learners' attitude significantly affected their satisfaction with core. And other studies like Ma and in 2000, Ma and 2009 and Lin 2014 both suggest that PEU is associated with learners' behavior intentions, while PU may be affected by PEU. And Zhang and Hsu, Li, Kozai, and Larson believe that such assumptions need further evidence. So the research of this study, the research aims of this study is to assess the value of core to improve learning, pronunciation training in this study, and then it is to examine the relationship between the variables and in the acceptance of technology model. So there are two research questions for this study. The first one is what are the relationships between the TAM variables, PEU, PU, ATU, and ACU. And the second one is how is EFL students perceived autonomy associated with other variables in TAM. So here are the 6 research hypotheses. And this is the research hypothesis model for this study. There are 19 first-year undergraduate students participated in this study. The class was held twice a week and lasted for 15 weeks. they were streamed based on their English score of their entrance exam, and mostly had to A2 level of CEFR. And Learn Mode is an open courseware for students in Taiwan, was implied to assist students' awareness of correct pronunciation. A 15-week ASR-based CAPT activities was set on the Learn Mode platform as extras from September 2020 to January 2023. And the students completed the survey in mid-January. The instrument is an online questionnaire, a 6-point Likert scale. Items were adopted from various relevant studies to examine the participants' acceptance of the use of ASR-based CAPT. In the first station, it is participants' demographic details, and in the second session are 16 items on the four constructs of the TAM, include perceived usefulness, 5 items, perceived ease of use, 4 items, attitudes, 4 items towards using, and the continuance intention to use, 3 items. And in the third section are the 4 items developed by the researcher to examine the learner's perceived autonomy. So the procedure for this study, including in the first stage, is operational session at the beginning of the first semester. The students understood and started to practice 1 assignment per week, and they can practice and repeatedly until satisfied. And then the final stage is to complete the questionnaire. And for data analysis, this study used SPSS for quantitative data to obtain descriptive statistic results. And the Cronbach alpha Pearson correlation coefficient analysis were performed to identify and confirm the internal consistency and the reliability of the survey measurement. And the internal consistency results from the 16-item survey were divided into 4 subcategory constructs, and each obtained a good reliability of Cronbach alpha value. And such high internal consistency suggests that the questionnaire items utilized for this study were closely related. The CR value for every TAM construct was above 0.85, and the AVE value were above 0.65, confirming the reliability and the validity of the research measurements. And this is the sample for students' pronunciation assessment results. Students can obtain the immediate results for their practice and showed you the problem of their pronunciation. They can improve it for the later work. And this is the result for the 4 constructs of the AM. And here is the Pearson correlation coefficient between constructs. You can see the highest correlation results showed in PEU and the PU. And here are the structure model analysis. For the 6 hypotheses tested results, there are 4 out of 6 were supported. Only the 2nd and the 5th are not supported. So this is the pass coefficients of the research model. the limitations for this study are four. The first one is this is a small-scale case study, so the result may not be generalizable, and it should be including a time effect in future study. And then there's a gender effect in this study. Girls generally perform better than boy students. So there probably gender effect, gender differences in this should be examined in future studies. And then the questionnaire is self-reported, so the data may potentially amplify the connection. The conclusion for this study, the findings of this study supported that TAM was found to be a valid model for predicting students' intention to use the system. And 4 out of 6 research hypotheses proposed for this study were significantly supported. And it is found that PEU affected the PU significantly, and the PU was directly linked with ATU. PEU was indirectly associated with the mediation of PU. Participants' attitudes towards using the system were found to be directly affected their continuous intention to use. And this study obtained positive results, suggesting that pronunciation via ASR-based training might help learners take responsibility for their own learning. And the implication of this study. So for the purpose of convenience, call and more can be used interchangeably, and the language learners can approach the same learning functions either by using their computers or smartphones. EFL teachers who wish to enhance their students' pronunciation through ASR-based CAPT might appreciate having access to software that can operate either through computers or mobile devices. Teachers combine both digital and analog ways of teaching, which allow students to improve their English pronunciation skills. Teachers should encourage students to assess their own progress by reflecting on both their pronunciation skills and to improve the quality of their EFL learning. Also, not all learners will be equally motivated to take responsibility for their own learning. So it is necessary for educators to provide all their students with adequate technological learning resources in order for them to study independently if they wish. Finally, a pronunciation training program can help to develop learners' positive perceptions of the system generally, and to encourage them to acquire equally positive attitudes towards using the technological equipment for the remainder of their course.